Good morning, Cancerians, or afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. I hope you're having an amazing day. Looks as though Prince Philip is out of the hospital for the royal family lovers out there. That's great news. It's always good when someone heals, feels better. What do we got for my Cancerians? Ooh, look at that. It's the Hero. Talk about a bright card. I'm going to hold this up and let you really get a good look at that so that you can actually dive into all of that color. Look at the flame. Look at the fire. And I'm definitely looking at the eye there, the third eye, and it's open. It's definitely open. And interestingly, it matches my shirt. Wow. What a coincidence. So, my friends, as you know, these messages will not resonate for everyone, so just take what does and leave the rest. And if it doesn't resonate at all, it just means it's not your message this time. Hopefully you'll be able to learn something or take something from the experience regardless. So, this Hero card, it could represent a person of noble qualities, ordinary people who do extraordinary acts, or a person who lies and cannot be trusted, or putting another's well-being before one's own at this time, or accord with others' respect and dignity, or avoiding gossip, or an opportunity for redemption. It could be about giving a second chance. And also, lastly, it represents altruism or a wounded ego, perchance. So you can take from that whichever seems to connect with you at this moment. This card represents someone that we all admire for their noble qualities, their courage, and their willingness to champion and rescue the weak and vulnerable. In the past, the hero archetype would be someone who rides in and saves a village from thieves and villains, rescues damsels in distress, and battles against injustice. In the present, they are doctors, for example, who work to save lives in lands ravaged by war and disease. They are environmentalists who place themselves in harm's way in order to save the forest, the oceans, and the animals that dwell within. They are soldiers, the firemen, the paramedics, the police, all of them. Even ordinary people who serve and protect, and often put their own lives at risk in order to save the lives of others. The hero could be a mother, for example, who jumps out of a burning building in order to save her child's life, or a man who dives in front of a car in order to knock another person out of the way, or a man who risks drowning himself to rescue another from rushing floodwaters. In modern times, this archetype is a guardian, a protector, a savior, an activist, an environmentalist, and so much more. They serve without question, and they serve for little or no reward. They do it simply because it's the right and honorable thing to do. They are ordinary people who perform extraordinary feats. When we look at the past, the hero was often said to be fated to do his good deed. In the present, modern day heroes make a choice to serve. But there's also a modern day chivalric code that can, if we all choose to live by it, make heroes of us all, because we consciously choose to live by an honor code in a time when honor is often lacking. And isn't that true? Those who live by the code are honest. A person who lies is a person who can't be trusted. And if a person can't be trusted, how can they be esteemed? Those who live by the code are loyal, and that loyalty will not waver, even in times when it may not be deserved, for that matter. They are usually courteous and respectful, and the modern day hero who lives by the code knows that all lasting relationships are built upon foundations of honesty, trust, respect, and loyalty. They are people of honor and respect. They also, if it's a male, they respect women, not because they deem them to be weak, but because they are partners, helpmates, life bringers, and nurturers. He's there to protect the ones who nurtures, To harm a female or worse, a child is the worst crime that this person can commit. They are also women heroes, for that matter, who honor and respect men, not because they're subservient, but because they're equals, helpmates, providers, and protectors. She's the one who nurtures, and to seek to make him less or like her is to go against nature itself. They are just and will fight for justice even when law and justice are in conflict. Those who live by the hero's code will fight to defend those who cannot defend themselves, even if that means breaking the laws of the land. They do not delight in the pain and suffering of others. They refuse to partake in gossip or rumors because to do so is to hurt somebody, right? And to hurt oneself as much as another. Modern day heroes believe in love, commitment, honor, justice, integrity, forgiveness, honesty, respect, and service. These are the core values that inspire them to serve the greater good and to act in a selfless manner. They strive to be the very best that they can be for the good of humanity, but remain humble because they don't act in order to gain favor or a standing, for that matter. They also understand that no one is perfect. They're not perfect. They have made mistakes and will make more mistakes. That is why they will also show mercy and give others a second chance and the opportunity to find redemption. When the hero appears in a reading, you're being asked to embrace the code, to act selflessly for the greater good. It's time to be the best person you can be, to resist pettiness and behavior that makes you less than you could be. We cannot all perform heroic feats, nor are we all meant to, but we can choose to hold ourselves to a higher standard and treat all those we meet with dignity, kindness, and compassion. It's interesting because it can get very frustrating. And it's funny because this came up yesterday in a personal reading that I was doing for a client. And a big shout out to him. I just adore him, Nick. He's absolutely wonderful. So big shout out to you, Nick, if you're watching this. But it's almost like sometimes it's hard to remain good. It's hard to do the right thing, especially when there's so many around us in the world now who take the easy route of not going the extra mile or not being polite. But what they don't realize is it's a choice. It's not that it's harder to be nice. It's just simply that it's a choice. And it's like the two wolves. You know, one is full of pride and ego and all of this. You've got to look up the poem. Google Two Wolves. And basically, it's a war about good and evil that goes on in each one of us. And an old Cherokee is telling the story. And so the grandson asks, well, which wolf wins? And the old Cherokee simply replies, the one you feed. Here we go. The lovers making a choice. Wow. Some of you could be dealing with a Gemini. But again, I feel that some of you are absolutely being wonderful, but maybe you get fed up with the fact that the people around you aren't so stand up. And maybe you lose faith in doing the right thing. Maybe it gets very frustrating to have to put up with people who, you know, it's as I said yesterday, you hold the door open for them, they let it slam in your face. You say hi to someone, they just give you a look like as if you're an alien. If somebody drops something and you go to pick it up, instead of them saying thank you, they accuse you of trying to steal it, and you're like, no, I was just picking it up for you. So you can see that there is this divide right now going on. And I think that it could be regarding a relationship with others, or it could be even just within yourself. Perhaps some stuffed energy, and I say stuffed because of all of this fire energy here, is starting to swell, and maybe some of you are feeling frustrated with the fact that you choose to be a hero in your daily life, and maybe it's upsetting because you're just like, why do I do this when so many other people don't? Sometimes it's easier to follow the crowd, right? There we go. 4 of Pentacles. And that is the foundation. The selfishness, the withholding. So I feel that a lot of you are frustrated with meeting these types of people. I think that it's important to remember, and what Spirit is saying, and of course this is your choice. You never have to take what we say as gospel. This is going to sound crazy, but it's a paradox. If you can learn to accept and not be bothered by people's selfishness, if you can just accept that this is a part of who that they are and that they're not, some are not, maybe many will not go to the extra mile for others, you won't feel so distraught or destroyed. I used to have to work on this, for example, when driving. I would get so mad at people, so mad. For example, I'd slow down my car to let somebody in who had their signal light on, but I'd get cut off. There's so many examples of where I would try to do the right thing and I would just get so much rage. I'd be like, how selfish are people? That's what this card is. This card is about selfishness, how they only think about themselves. They don't think about others. And it started making me very cynical. And it's quite funny. I think because I went through a lot growing up. When I was younger, I remember my sister saying to me at the age of 21, she said, you know, Kelly, you sound like somebody who's 90 years old and who has lived a whole life and is just completely cynical. And she was right. So I started to learn to accept people are selfish. People will not go the extra mile. Some will not. Not all, because we do have the heroes in the world. But I think it's where we shift our focus. So if we just accept and make peace with the fact that there are jerks out there who get to do whatever they want, and I say jerks because they are jerks. They steal, they rob, they mob people, they bully people, they're weak and they're selfish. But the thing is if I kept focusing on that and it kept triggering my anger because I wanted it to change, I started to realize the only one that I could change was myself. So I had to change my perception about them. And I had to accept who they were and what they were about. I could no longer get mad at them, right? There we go. So in the recent past here, some of you may have felt as though you had to cave on some of your beliefs. Some of you may have given up the good fight, right? Because this upright 7 of Wands would be standing in your power. It would be fighting for what you believe in. It would be standing up to opposition in all ways, shapes, and forms. However, what I feel is that you caved, and I don't blame you. I feel like a lot of people, it just got to be so much that maybe even you just withdrew and you isolated for a little while because you were just done, you were exhausted. Maybe they're pushy energy. I don't know about others of you, but pushiness drives me nuts. I hate entitlement, and I have to learn to accept it. But I hate people that are so incredibly pushy. Those that dominate conversations. Those that don't let someone else speak before interrupting. And believe me, I'm guilty of that. Sometimes when I get so excited, I'll even interrupt in a conversation. I have to stop myself, right? I have to remember a conversation is a two-way street. It's, I'm going to listen to what you have to say and respond, as opposed to sit there and plan out my response whilst someone else is talking. So I feel like maybe you were around a lot of pushy individuals, people who laid their expectations down upon you and you felt exhausted already. You were just like, you know what, I'm done. I don't want to fight this anymore. I'm going to be a jerk too. Maybe some of you got to that point. And should you blame yourself? No. When it's all around you, you just get to a point where you're like, I'm just so done doing the right thing. But you know what? This is just your feelings telling you that something needs to change. And you know what needs to change is don't focus on them. Accept that they exist. Accept that we cannot change them. But you lead by example. You lead by example because you're making a huge difference in people's lives, whether you know it or not. Perhaps this card is showing up for the doctors out there right now who are working their arses off to try and save people. Perhaps this is all of the frontline workers who need a little bit of encouragement. Even if you're an essential worker who is stocking shelves so that people have food, you are valued, you are important. And if nobody's told you that today, well, I'm going to tell you that today. And please, in the comments, leave comments for the people who are doing their best to be the heroes in the world. We need the heroes, okay? So if somebody else isn't propping you up today, then let it be me in spirit, right? Leader, King of Wands, there you are. Some of you could be dealing with a fire sign. But again, the King of Wands is somebody who has a vision. This is somebody who sees what they want the world to become, and they make it happen. They're a leader. And what was I saying? You keep leading. You keep being you, because you're having an incredible influence on the world, whether you know it or not. So you sit on your throne and you be proud. And your actions, because the King of Wands are about action. It's about what you do and you exhibit to the world every day that makes a difference. So even if you can't see an immediate change, or people aren't being as appreciative of you, believe me, you are so important. So important. What is this King of Wands about, please, Spirit? Let's get a clarification. Ten of Cups. What did I tell you? You don't even know how happy you make people. You don't even know how beautiful your existence is in this world. Look at the happiness in this card. This is complete emotional fulfillment. And you know what? You bring this. You bring this by simply being you and by doing what you do. And as long as it's altruistic, as long as it's not for a selfish reason, because some people, they don't realize that they may have a quote-unquote hero complex. And the hero complex is somebody that needs to find their worth by doing for others, as opposed to just doing it altruistically, which is what this card represents as well. So I think that what it's saying is you are a genuine hero, an altruistic one. And don't be deterred. And listen to that, just as I say that. Listen to the sirens out there. It's like, don't get faltered by the negativity around you. You just keep being you, because you're bringing happiness into the world, and it's affecting relationships in a positive manner. It's affecting people in a positive manner. Heck, you're a leader. That's what that King of Wands is. So let's see what's coming in the future for you. Actually, for a future card, I want to pull. I'm being told to use this deck. What's coming in the near future for my Cancerians? Magical Map Shifter. What did I tell you? You're shifting things around. You're making things change. You change the course of somebody's life. You are a magical map shifter. And I think what Spirit is trying to tell you at this point in time is that there is going to be an opportunity in the near future where you get to just be you, and you are going to have such an incredible impact that it's literally going to change somebody's life. And maybe you don't know it. Maybe it could be just a stranger of some sort, but maybe there's something that you're going to do that saves somebody's life. Maybe even just by paying attention when you're driving and you get out of the way of a swerving car or something and you save somebody else. There's something that you're going to do here. You are a hero. And I think that this is important for you to realize in terms of your purpose here. So this magical map shifter, you are somebody, or somebody might even come into your life who's going to change the course of how things are unfolding for you, but in a beautiful way. So keep your chin up. If any of you have been feeling a little bit down lately, or a little bit like, what's the point of it all? You know, acceptance honestly makes things go away, because what we resist persists. The more frustrated we get, or the more we give in to the negativity around us, then we just become that. So instead of getting mad at it or resisting it, look at it from a higher perspective and just say, no, I'm not going to get pulled into this gossip or this garbage or whatever the heck is going on. Okay? Dearest you, we're a chatty bunch over here, always talking about how to support you in your life's journey. We communicate to you through the language of oracles, dreams, signs, metaphors, and omens. In your life on earth, however, clarity in your communication is essential to being understood. You don't speak in symbols, and if you did, you would definitely confuse things. Right now, you're facing a situation in which you're being asked to have integrity. Didn't I tell you, be the hero? So it's saying be clear and learn how to ask for your needs to be met. Yes, there we go. If someone is being pushy or entitled or they're coming at you in some way, shape, or form, Spirit is telling you, stand up for what you believe in. If someone's interrupting you, say, I'm not finished, or please let me finish, right? And if they continue to interrupt you, then you walk away. Don't accept bad treatment, but don't be mad at it. Say thank you for the opportunity to allow me to practice standing up for myself and saying what I need. So it's to ask for your needs to be met. And the first step is to admit out loud that you have needs. The second is to ask out loud for them to be met. And the third is to allow the other person, organization, or even us to answer you. When you follow these steps, you can most definitely expect an answer. In your favor, affirmative, we say. Loving you so very much. Also, it helps us to define what it is in our life. So maybe some things are going to change in the near future for you. Maybe you're going to be releasing some energies around you, people for that matter, people who don't serve your highest good. Maybe you've outgrown that chapter now, and that's okay. That's okay. Don't feel sad about those who had an opportunity to grow with you but chose not to. Okay? There's reasons for everything, and people come into your life and people leave, but it's always for a reason. Most importantly, the one that you're answering to at the end of the day is yourself and Spirit. So when you look in the mirror, it's about doing the things that feel right to you and living your truth every day. Okay? So let's get you an intent card because this is getting a bit long. Sorry. And then I will wrap it up. Courage. There it is. Look at those wolves howling. Courage, courage, courage. So this card says, affirmation. I have found the courage to continue in the face of adversity and challenge. I will continue in the darkness despite negative entities and thought forms that attempt to bring me down. The new moon cycle is not illuminated as the full moon. Connect with your inner wolf. As your power animal, this wolf howls at the new moon and does it ever. Okay? So honestly, my friends, you've got this. You've got this. Whatever it is, there's good things coming for you, and you make a difference. All right. I hope that resonated for someone out there. Feel free, please leave a comment. Let me know. And otherwise, I hope you have the most amazing day ever. See you again soon. Bye, Cancerians. Love you.